Hey team, welcome back to my channel. Using TKInter, let's learn how to raise and subscribe to events. This is a very gentle introduction. The source code to this video is available on my GitHub account. Here you can see two TKInter windows, a parent window and a child window. The goal of this video is we're going to show you how to send messages from the parent window to the child window using events. The event will all happen on this button above that says click me. Notice when I take my mouse and I run it into the button actually changes color. And that is like an event. And when I take my mouse off that button, notice it goes back to its normal color. Now when I take my mouse on it and click, notice a message appeared in the child window. The parent window raised the event software nuggets. Then if I use my mouse button, the right button, and click it, notice another event came over to the child window. So in this video, we'll learn how to perform the actions you just saw. So you just saw a video of the apps in play, and now we're going to look at the source code. Notice that we have a parent window, and we had saw that button and had a label, click me. Now when someone clicks on this button, I have 4 events that this button is going to handle. And notice I say self, button, bind. So if somebody does an event from this button called button 1, then I'm going to go execute this method. Self.button.bind is an action that the parent window class is taking on the click me button on this form. We actually call this subscribing to an event. Button-1 is an event written by the programmer who wrote this TKInter button control. The TKInter button control has many events, but here you can see that I'm only subscribing to 4 of them. Now let's get back to what happens here. So this program, parent window, it is going to subscribe to button 1. Now when button 1 raises this event, this method will be executed. Let's go and take a look at that. Raise button clicked. Now when I actually execute that, I'm going to come down and I'm going to raise an event. The form, remember this is the button. Now we're back out to this class object called parent window. So at the parent window, I'm going to raise an event called, look at that, see how they're different? This is internal to an object. Here, we call this a virtual event. I have a little definition here. So the symbols like this format is used to indicate that the event is a virtual event, which means it is generated by the parent window rather than by using a interaction with the GUI. An interaction would be like I put a button on my form and that already comes preloaded with a bunch of events. Here we're creating our own events. Now notice that it begins with 2 symbols and it ends with 2 symbols. And then we give it a name. Now this name can be whatever you want it to be. Like when the person wrote button, they decided to use button -1, button -3, enter and leave. They have a chance, just like we have right now, to call it whatever we want. But normally I get it pretty close to what I'm, subscribing and then re-pushing to. But for an example, see how it says button clicked? I could call that software nuggets. And let me just show you what that will look like, because this may make sense. So notice now, me, the form, I'm raising an event and I'm going to call it software nuggets. Just like when the button designer was programming, they called it button 1. Now when I raise the event and my child is listening, does he listen for button clicked or software nuggets? Well, what we have to do is we have to go change him. So now I'm down in the child window, and notice I was originally looking for button clicked. Well, I'm not looking for that no more. I'm looking for software nuggets. Our parent, the first window, raised this event. And then the child window says, hey, I'm going to bind to that. I'm going to subscribe to that custom event. And when I see software nuggets come through, I'm going to go to my method in child window called on button clicked. Now I could have called this whatever I wanted to. I could have said on software nuggets. In fact, let's go ahead and change that. We can say on software nuggets. Then I can come down here and put that here. Just so you see the full path. So the parent raised the event, software nuggets. The child window said, hey, I want to subscribe to software nuggets. And when software nuggets comes through here, the child window will go execute the callback method called software nuggets right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this, and we're going to be in debug mode, and we're going to run all the way through software nuggets so you can see it work. So in the parent window, I have this button called click me. That click me, we are going to say on the event button 1, this form is going to bind to that event. And its callback method, like how I'm going to handle if this button 1 event is raised, I'm going to go call button click event. I'm then going to come down to this little stub of code right here, and then I'm going to say, oh, look here, event generate. It's going to generate a custom event. So the form itself is going to raise an event. Now you see here that the child window is part of, the parent window. So now the child is saying, hey, I'm going to bind to software nuggets. That's if and only if it is raised. And it will only be raised if line 41 is executed. And then what will happen if it is raised and its callback method is on software nuggets? Then you will see this label over here say the parent window raised event software nuggets. Now right now I don't have no debugging set on, but we're just going to see it happen. Ready? So click me with the left button on your mouse, and notice it says the parent window raised event software nuggets. Now if I click it with the right button on the mouse, notice another event executed. Now let's set breakpoints. And I'm going to set a breakpoint in the parent, and then let's see this happen. Ready? So I'm going to do a left click with the mouse. The callback method got executed on the parent, right? And now it's going to raise an event, software nuggets. Oh, look at that. We're in the child now. And it said, hey, I'm going to bind to software nuggets. And if I see that come through, I'm going to go execute on software nuggets. Guess where we're at? We're at on software nuggets. This label is now going to change. And there you have it. And there you have it, team, a quick video using events in the TKInter window environment. I'm hoping that this video gave you a gentle introduction to raising events and subscribing. If you have any questions or comments about this video, please leave them below. I hope to see you back in my next video. Take care.